felt that he filled a need, and Brett's the acting GM really for all purposes right now for the Sixers.
There's a look at the starting lineups. Donte DiVincenzo looking for a little bit more consistency. Bucks in control on the wing. 7 on the shot clock. Trice. DiVincenzo coming up short. And Wood there to clean things up. Christian Wood, as he's done in the last couple of games, in the right place at the right time. Played his collegiate basketball right here at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
We're not giving Donte an assist on that one.
Yes, an intentional pass. Bolden out front on the handle. Here's McCullough squaring up and drilling the jump shot. And he ties the game up. Chris McCullough onto the Bronx, New York, and Syracuse. 29th pick back in 2015. Wood, little show and go on Bolden, and he draws the foul.
Yeah, the amazing thing, excuse me, Jonesy, Christian Wood, you know, guys have a tendency to forget there may not be a slot for him with his team, but the good thing about this summer league, all 30 teams are here, so somebody else, a general manager, a coach, a scout on another team, tons of European coaches and owners and general managers also in attendance. So even though you don't end up always with the team you're working, it's still opportunity.
You mentioned the international scouts. It was about a year ago at this time, in the wake of Summer League play, which Wood took part in with the Philadelphia 76ers squad, ironically. He signed a lucrative deal to play in China, and then on the eve of leaving, he switched his mind and decided, you know what, I'm an NBA player. I'm going to stay on this side of the world and play in the G League. He put in a little bit of time in the NBA and then spent most of the season in the G League and put up some pretty good numbers in Delaware, averaging a little over 23 points per game. Here's Wilson from outside. DiVincenzo with the board. Wilson going to try it again. And Wilson goes 0 for 2 on the possession and commits a foul as well.
Well, guys work, and that's sometimes the difference in these last games. I mean, let's be honest. They're playing a lot of games in a short period of time. Some of these teams have even appeared in Utah or Sacramento before they came here in an earlier summer league. So as it winds down, you find out which of the teams that want to win, which of the players that want to compete.
Yeah, great point. That Korkmaz with a nice feed inside. Bolden missed from point-blank range, but a nice dime by Furkan Korkmaz, who earlier this week had a 40-point game against the Boston Celtics in the opener. Korkmaz there, a guy that suited up a lot this past year for the Philadelphia 76ers. Scored 40 that game against Boston and had a combined 42 points in his first 2 games. The scouting report got out quickly on him.
Exactly. Well, he's averaging 16 a game and 4 boards, 2 assists. We don't say he started with 40. That kind of makes it look not as good in his 4 games. But he has played well in the 4 games here. He certainly didn't score like he did on opening night.
Bolden missing the second, goes 0 for 2. Jonah Bolden, an interesting story. He was one of those draft and stash guys for the 76ers. Played in Israel last year.
Played for Maccabi. He was a number 36 pick last year.
DiVincenzo, nice cut. Trice out to T.J. Klein, and Klein out of Richmond, leaving it short. Bucks with another possession. The shot clock only resets to 14 on an offensive rebound. Klein couldn't chase it down. It'll be Philadelphia 76ers basketball. Philadelphia, the 30th seed. They played 3 games and then went to championship tournament play. And Philadelphia was seeded 30th, ended up with the upset win yesterday.
Over Phoenix, number 3. If you're into numerology, we had the 30 seed was 0-3. The 3 seed was 3-0. And the 30 seed wins. So somewhere in Vegas, somebody invested on that.
Never sleep on that 30 against 3 matchup when they go to the tournament form. Tied at 2, 7:50 to go here in the first quarter in Summer League action. 4 10-minute periods. Bolden knocking it down from outside, atoning for those 2 consecutive missed free throws a little bit ago.
Local, high school, Jonah Bolden, Finley Prep, famed Finley Prep here in town, and then, of course, UCLA.
They turn out a lot of collegiate prospects as Sterling Brown got to the bucket that time for the Milwaukee Bucks. Brown, a big, strong two-guard. Plays the wing, plays three as well. Korkmaz, tough fadeaway. Well, if it was FIBA basketball, it would be okay, but that's an offensive goaltending call.
There were a couple of people on the rim for both teams, but neither can do that. Good screen here again. He sets the screen, then he pops out. Lesson there, if you set a good screen, invariably you're the guy that gets open. If you can force somebody else to help, Jonah Bolden took advantage of it.
Trice to Wood, and Wood fouled by McCullough. Christian Wood has been very active.
I was just going to say, he is active. Yep. He makes things happen. You can see why. Again, it's not just the scoring. Yeah, he's just under 19 points a game. We showed him in our open, but over 10 rebounds. He's blocking 2.3 shots, and he's shooting 53% from the field. Christian Wood is making a strong case for himself, what he's done last year in the G League and what he's doing right now. And in the game that got him here against San Antonio, 26 points, 15 rebounds. That's pretty good. I'm sure he's thinking, what else do I have to do to get a contract from somebody?
Yeah, PJ, pretty good bet that he's going to be on somebody's roster in the immediate wake of this. Has 4 points and 3 boards already. Actually has 3 double-doubles in 4 games here in Las Vegas.
Well, he likes playing here in Vegas, obviously.
He knows the rims,
back
right?
home, exactly.
Wild shot, DiVincenzo with the board. And Dante DiVincenzo up court. Brown walks into a 3 and drills it. And that's going to be a timeout.
Flex Fit.
Hey, the Summer League tournament continues tonight in Las Vegas on ESPN2 as well as the ESPN app. Smith on the backdoor lob from Jackson, never made it there. Memphis and Utah coming up after this one at 10:30 Eastern time. Christian Wood laying the wood on Philadelphia right now.
Well, you picked the word active. He moves without the ball. If you're playing with guys that'll share it, you're willing to run. Christian right there, right to the rim. It's a nice way to play. You have to reward the bigs. When they move without the ball, you better feed them.
Wood at the foul line, shot 80% from the free throw line this past season. He was all G League with Delaware. That's the Philadelphia 76ers affiliate.
New name, the Blue Coats now.
Yeah. Marketing purposes, no doubt.
We like it.
Oh, good defense by DiVincenzo.
But you used the word active to describe Christian Wood on the other end. That fits Dante DiVincenzo. He makes things happen on the floor.
Milwaukee in the middle of a 10-0 run. Christian Wood out of Palmdale, California, pardon me. There's another guy from Palmdale that made news during free agency. Can I give you a guess? You want to guess?
I'll take a rain check.
Okay, he ended up going back to OKC.
I know that gentleman very well. I hate to say it, PG, I tell him all the time, I'm not a bad memory. Every time I sit at this court, I look at that basket over there to the left, and I think of PG's injury day.
Yeah, I was here. I call that game a whistle and a foul. Yeah. As DiVincenzo went to the bucket and drew the hit.
That's what they're doing, too, Jonesy. They're getting to the bucket, and when they miss, they're getting rebounds. They got 4 offensive rebounds on top of all the layups and all the active plays attacking the basket.
DiVincenzo out of Wilmington, Delaware, 17th pick overall in the first round. You think about his meteoric, mercurial rise from 6th man. You know, Brunson ends up in foul trouble in the championship game in the NCAA tournament, and DiVincenzo comes in and was lights out in that game, and I don't think anybody would have maybe seen him as a first-round pick, 17th overall, before the tournament began.
Well, they were maybe projecting for next year. They thought he would come back and have a monster second year and you know, pick it up and then go from there. But he played so well, there's no reason to wait. They're getting looks and just can't finish. Philly keeps going the other end and doesn't get it. But to go back to.
And some interesting bloodlines when it comes to TJ Klein. He is the son of my former colleague and co-worker, Nancy Lieberman, the Hall of Famer, Lady Magic.
That's right. And Tim?
TJ had a pretty good year at Richmond. That shot partially blocked. Oliver tried to get it back out. Sixers with one on the clock. Zaire Smith comes up short. And Milwaukee leading by 8 with possession.
Well, Nancy Lieberman bloodlines doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, for basketball, no doubt.
I'll tell you what, and I'm not just talking female players. Yeah. Nancy Lieberman can play with anybody and proved it on many an occasion. And coached in the league also.
Yes.
So great.
Yeah, TJ, the Atlantic 10 Player of the Year and first team All-10 back in 2017. Played in Turkey professionally a couple years ago. Brown kicks it back out, and that's going to be an offensive foul against Sterling Brown. 5:02 to go here in the first quarter. Sterling Brown out of Maywood, Illinois. I want to say he's one of those Proviso East guys. Doc Rivers School and Michael Finley and a bunch of other great basketball players.
Isaiah Miles with a nice job stepping in front. Drew the charge.
Great hesitation by Demetrius Jackson for the layup. Formerly out of Notre Dame, drafted by the Celtics, defending Trice. Rebounded by the Sixers, and back comes Philadelphia. Long jumper is no good.
Wow. That's like nothing else open. Let me just jack it.
Yeah, Cam Oliver was feeling nice about that one. Oliver's played well for them, though. Undrafted as a rookie. Out of Nevada, but a big finish there for the Bucks. Number 18, Jordan Barnett. Barnett's second year. Played 2 years at Missouri.
Tiger.
No hesitation by Isaiah Miles. Philadelphia down by 8, under 4 minutes to go. Trice is short. The winner of this game will advance. This is quarterfinal play. Zaire Smith. Smith has been pretty quiet so far at the offensive end.
That's not his forte. I think he'll get better on that, but clearly it's the defense, the athleticism, the floor game. Right. Why Zaire went high. So TJ Klein, one of the things he knows how to do, he knows how to play basketball. Off the dribble, one-hand pass. Very, very well done. Recognized, didn't even hesitate. Good movement without the ball by Jordan Barnett. TJ Klein makes it pay off.
Yeah, played in 46 games between Turkey and Israel. Two pretty high-level competitive leagues.
Excellent leagues, both.
Sterling Brown on top against Smith. Stare down three, a little bit strong. And one and done at the offensive end.
Our old buddy from up in Toronto and Italy, Maurizio Giardini, is now with Fenerbahce doing an excellent job in Turkey.
Fenerbahce again went to the EuroLeague
East last year, #1 seed. Kyrie Irving, of course, has been to finals, what he did both in Cleveland and in Boston. And Joel Embiid to help get Philly there. Giannis Antetokounmpo's not there. The reason he's not there to me is he's one of the best players in the league without question. But they got to do more. Right. He's got to elevate his team a little more, I think. And I'm not sleeping on Ben Simmons either. I think Joel is the man, but they would not have done what they accomplished this year without Ben Simmons running that team.
Yeah, tough to tell who's Batman and who's Robin sometimes with those two, but a wonderful dynamic combination.
But that other guy, the last, 15 years, I think he was clear-cut, the dominant player in the East.
Yeah, and probably the West, too.
And probably everywhere that they play basketball in the world.
Whistling a foul against the 76ers. Tim Quarterman in the ball game. Number 55 for the Milwaukee Bucks, playing the backup point guard spot here in Summer League. When undrafted out of LSU 3 years ago. Had 5 points or fewer in all 4 Summer League games coming off the bench so far.
But they're asking him to handle the ball, show what he's capable of doing there. He's over 3 assists a game. And it's, again, that's the beauty of Summer League. It's different objectives for different teams. Some teams want to look at their a first or second year player that didn't get good run. A lot of teams want to look at their draft picks. Sometimes you want to put people in different situations that they can't do with the big team, and you find out what they're capable of. That's what they're doing with Quarterman.
Long jumper, a little bit off the mark. That's a great point, PJ. You know, we've heard general managers, head coaches of the respective 30 teams, all 30 here at Summer League, say, listen, guys, we're not looking for you to come in and go 20-10. We're looking for pieces. We're looking for specific fits. We already got those all-stars and those 20-10 guys on the big club.
Exactly, and it's putting the pieces together. And with a lot of people, yeah, maybe with draft picks, it's you want to see what they can do. With some of the other guys, they've already established what they can do, but they want to try them in different situations. Maybe somebody that didn't ask to score before. Hey, we want you to be more aggressive. Shoot the ball a little bit. Somebody that's been a two-guard, we want to see if you can handle. So we're going to give you the ball and see what you're capable of doing. And again, Summer League is the perfect time to do that. And what's made it even better, and we keep harping on this, we have been now for, almost 10 days, Jonesy. Right. All 30 teams are here. So they're getting a chance to play against all the other players in the league, and they're getting seen by everybody in the league. So this has become an amazing vehicle for the different teams in the NBA.
Off the steal, bounce pass a little bit low from Quarterman to DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo, a.k.a. the Big Ragu, as he's affectionately known as.
Tim Quarterman,
pick that up.
I'm going to go talk to Tim. We're bragging at him on his ball handling. Throws a bounce pass into his shins. That was not that was the kind of pass I would throw to you on a breakaway. Come on, Tim, you got to do better than that. We're bragging on your ball handling skills.
11-point lead for Milwaukee. The winner of this moves on to the next round. Miller missing the jump shot. Perry Ellis out of Kansas with the board. Here's Quarterman out front. Good wing defense by Bryant. Good hustle, but it's knocked out of bounds off of him. Haynes will inbound for the Bucks.
10 on the clock. I actually thought he had done a good job creating a turnover there.
Nice little give and go off the inbound, and Haynes blew the layup.
Well, that time Quarterman did make a nice pass. He just didn't finish it.
Booker had a notion. Oliver inside and punches it home. Express yourself, Cam Oliver. You know, Oliver has been playing with a decided edge. He was undrafted back in 2017. And he remembered that there are 60 teams as he grabs the rebound there. And I saw a great quote from him in one of the local Philadelphia newspapers. He said, hey, there were 60 last year, 60 more this year. That's 120 teams I'm writing down and trying to make them sorry.
Oh, Dante, Jay Wright did not teach you to go for a steal on the baseline side. That's a mistake right there. Didn't get any help from the weak side either, but that's a cardinal mistake right there. Jay Wright's turning the TV off if he's watching back home in Philadelphia.
Cam Oliver, first-team All-Mountain West Conference as a sophomore at Nevada. DiVincenzo dancing with it out front. And Jay Wright's going to be even more upset at that pass that never made it, PJ. Booker got it with the left hand with 4.9 to go. DiVincenzo, one on the clock. Well, the Milwaukee Bucks did not finish that period.
Coaches talk about it all the time, how important it is to finish a quarter strong. Sixers did just that. We will spare our viewers the percentages. Suffice it to say, both teams are shooting extremely poorly.
Marble, wide open three. There has been a dearth of three-pointers until that point. The 76ers now 2 of 7 from downtown.
Which is significantly better than the Bucks, 1 for 10.
Wilson setting a screen for Haynes. Perry Ellis wide open from downtown. So as we start the second quarter, the three-point shooting starting to warm up a little bit.
Perry Ellis showing some things that people may not have seen from him earlier in his career. He got a rebound and took the ball up the floor to end the first quarter and then knocks a three down.
A whistle and a foul underneath.
Now, who was saying the three-point shooting was lousy, Josie? Was that me or you?
One of my analysts with the headset on today.
I don't know who that was. First Devin Marble, and then the pride of the Jayhawks.
Yeah, Perry Ellis played in Italy last year, averaged a little over 12 points per game, 4-time Gatorade Kansas High School Player of the Year. No other player has more than one. He did it 4 times. Barry Ellis, a native of Wichita, Kansas. We were talking about Bill Self, PJ. Had a game here earlier this week, and Bill Self came by to visit with us at the table. He has some 11 players from Kansas that he's visiting here in Las Vegas.
Exactly.
14 consecutive conference titles. No, that's insane.
Forget what.
In any league, 14 in a row is tough.
All of us were as mistaken as analysts often are. Everybody early in the year kicking dirt on them. They were struggling, saying, well, there's no way the streak ends this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
The road still goes through Lawrence if you want to win a conference championship.
And to nobody's surprise, a lot of people are picking them preseason #1 in the conference next year, too.
I thought Devontae did a really good job. He had to go back. He got dinged up a little bit. They I think, sent him back to Charlotte to look at it. But he handled the ball well, did all the things we've watched him do. Is he undersized? Yes. Did he play very well? He certainly did. Ooh, that's an extra step.
Sure was. Listen, a walking violation against the 76ers. Devin Marble, that's their 6th turnover of the ball game.
Evan Scott with the call. May not have been as quick a whistle as we would have liked, but he got it correct.
Here's DiVincenzo. Hasn't done much offensively in this ball game so far.
Well, you know what it is, too. A, he was hurt. B, he didn't play basketball for a long time, guys. There's a correlation between practicing and playing. You don't just show up and pick up exactly where you left off. So he's got a lot of rust.
You bring up a great point. We spoke to Trae Young a couple of days ago, and he was talking about his slow start in Summer League. The first thing he said to Doris and I was, I haven't played in 4 months.
No,
people forget that.
Absolutely.
It's not the same as going against pylons in the gym.
No, thank you. You know, again, most of these teams work out for 3 days. That's a foul. Most of them work out for 3 days of practices, even if 1 or 2 of them are double sessions. You got guys that don't even know. It takes some of the guys and the coaches, to be frank, to even learn everybody's name. So you're putting a system in. So you should see improvement, and I think we've seen that as the Summer League has gone on. But there's rust here. Yeah. There's no question.
Were you one of those coaches?
I was absolutely one of those coaches.
Call the guy by his number if you couldn't remember his name?
No,
hey, 45, come on.
No, I never did that. I did pride myself on that. That was before my senility set in. But I'll tell you what else. I would call all the time, Jonesy. I'd call the equipment manager and say, get jerseys with the names on the back. You can even put them on the front if you want, just to help me out.
Oh, my man. And
I love
Wilson going to go to the free throw line.
I love these uniforms.
Hey, what about the upgrade this year?
Oh, you
Summer League uniforms.
Well, Nike now is taking over the uniforms in the league. But, I mean, this isn't reversables without names. These are actual game uniforms with gigantic letters and numbers. You know that helps me. I know you have a photographic memory, so it's no problem for you.
All right. Hey, the Summer League tournament continues tomorrow in Las Vegas on ESPN2, ESPN, and the ESPN app. The Lakers taking on Detroit at 4 o'clock Eastern time. And then on ESPN, Toronto, Cleveland, Portland, Boston. The winner of this game will take on the winner of the Memphis, Utah game, which we have coming up next. So remember when we started a little over a week ago, it was all 30 teams, 82 games, every single one of them on television, and it'll all end on Tuesday, 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 Eastern time, with the championship match. Los Angeles Lakers are the defending and reigning Las Vegas Summer League champions. They are still alive.
And undefeated.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, they didn't win a game in Sacramento. They haven't lost a game here in Las Vegas.
They were saving it, PJ.
So, well, they improved.
They're
getting better as they go along. Josh Hart has been on fire, really playing well. Again, talking about a guy who's already established what he's capable of doing. And I like guys that want to play in Summer League.
Yeah, he demanded to come. Bell-Haynes with a nice hezzy for the layup.
Exactly right.
Philadelphia back to within 3. Pardon me, 7. Korkmaz, not sure whether that was a shot or a lob, but McCullough couldn't tip it in.
Well, you can't be sure because Furkan wasn't sure.
Yeah. Haynes got all the way to the bucket for the layup. Trae Bell-Haynes.
ESPN.
Welcome back, everyone. The Philadelphia 76ers out of the timeout. Let's see what they run here, trying to get back into a nice offensive groove. Nice set and nice call, PJ. Korkmaz uncorks a 3-ball, his first one of the game.
Kevin Young, Summer League head coach, we give you props. Running for Furkan.
Young out of Middle Georgia, Clayton State, Salt Lake City, Utah. Korkmaz on the move. Doesn't have numbers, got all the way into the paint. Bolden missed the tip. Korkmaz draws the foul.
Well, here's the execution you talked about. Screen, pop out. Got to play him. Talk to Boston, you want the scouting report. 40 is pretty impressive. Yeah. Don't let that man alone out at the three-point line.
Says he's getting a lot more comfortable. Spoke with him before the game. Getting used now in his second year, used to the speed of the NBA game as compared to the international game.
You know, and Mark, that's always the quote you hear from college players, particularly when they're in here in Summer League for the first time. Because even, is this the NBA? No, but it's one step removed, and that's the first thing that comes back to you all the time. I can't believe how quick the game is, how fast, how quick these guys. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're quicker, but the game is much faster.
Sterling Brown had a shot blocked here. Got it back, though. Great determination. And back to Korkmaz. You know, he said that he was able to come to Summer League in very good shape because he's a member of the Turkish national team.
They were playing.
Yeah, he played in 2 games against Slovenia and Montenegro, 2 top-level European teams. They won both, and you know,
they're in that same qualifying process for the World Championships.
Yes.
Jeff Van Gundy's been qualifying the USA team with all G League players. I mean, they changed the roster on him like every time they play. He's done an exceptional job, but they just came back from 2 games, one in Mexico City, one in Havana, Cuba. And we've had the games on ESPN. I think we're going to have the next one in September when they go against Uruguay. But again, that is the qualifying process. And unlike the U.S. right now, even though it's in the summer, they have their elite players because, again, that's how you qualify. The World Championships have been moved up. They're in 2019, and then the Olympics in 2020. So
Turkey will probably be there. They're doing well. One last thing on Korkmaz to wrap it up. I asked him about, you know, what do you feel about living in the city of Philadelphia? Honestly, he says, I understand why you say they boo Santa Claus.
Well, he's talking about when he goes to Flyer games or Philly games or Eagle games. That this year, they never boo the Sixers.
No, he said the fans are really passionate, and he loves living in Philadelphia, being part of the Sixers organization.
Well, he keeps putting up 5 points in 23 seconds like he just did. They're going to love him. He won't get booed anymore.
Brown with a nice move inside, had it blocked by Bolden. Back out to Wood, going to try the 3. One of his rare misses here this afternoon. Nice time inside. Demetrius Jackson dropping dimes like historical rivals there.
Number of teams have advanced. 22, 25, 29. Philly threatening to advance. Number 30 seed.
Big time rebound by McCullough. Here's Korkmaz. Nice little Euro step from the European star. And he gets it to fall.
That's a wrong foot layup. That's hard to do. Normally you shoot it with your right hand. You go off the left foot. Furkan got caught in there, and guy in front of him just adjusted, made the shot.
Here's Trice. Good roll by Wood, but better defensive help. And Korkmaz corralled the pass and got it to go. He's got 9 points. A scoring flurry by Furkan Korkmaz has the 76ers up by 2 with about 4.5 minutes to go. Said he had a chance to spend some time with his head coach Brett Brown and chat, and said just relax. It's Summer League. You're going to do well at times. You're going to make some mistakes at times. Just get better, and that's what Christian Wood is doing for the Bucks.
Yes, he is. And of course, Brett Brown, old buddy, we spent 5 years together in San Antonio. I've known Brett since he was playing in high school for his father, a legendary high school coach, Bob Brown. And in Maine, and he played for Rick Pitino at BU. He did an exceptional job. Well, I'll tell you what, Christian Wood, come on, somebody has got to give him a chance.
I'm guessing that his representation is fielding phone calls right after this game.
I would think so.
Or during.
You're right. Well, we already have the proverbial deal in the drawer done, hopefully.
Wood with 11 points and 4 rebounds, PJ.
Finish the thought for Brett Brown. It was so great to see Philly allow him. You know, so many times, Josie, as you well know, somebody's there, takes in all the losses, helps with all the building, and then we'll make a change, and somebody else gets a chance to come in. Brett saw them through the process and deserves the opportunity to lead them the way he did this past year.
Philadelphia 76ers, to really nobody's surprise, I guess, did not elect to have Markelle Fultz play, but in the sense that he will be better and ready to go for training camp, the 76ers have him working out with shooting coach and skills coach Drew Hanlon in Southern California, and Fultz has been making wonderful progress according to the 76ers, and they expect him to be shooting well, playing well when training camp opens in September. They've been in consultation with Drew Hanlon. They are on the same page in terms of building him back up and getting him ready, and all is reported to be well.
Well, I'll tell you, it was just a strange situation, Jones. As you know, I live in Seattle, so I saw Markelle play a lot for UW, playing for Lorenzo Romar 2 years ago, and I would have called him a above-average shooter. I'm not saying knockdown shooter, but a capable shooter. But when he had the injury early in the year, he changed his shot, and then it was not a good shot. Then he lost confidence in it, and you're talking not, you know, a borderline #1 pick, everybody's #1 pick. To see him struggle the way he did, it's great to hear. I had a chance to talk with Brett earlier in the week. They're happy with his progress, and as you said, he's working on his game, and I think we're going to see a totally different Markelle Fultz for the Sixers going forward. And again, that's a heck of a player to add to your team.
Philadelphia looking to move up in the Eastern Conference hierarchy. I had a chance to visit with Markelle a little bit here in Las Vegas. He looks fabulous. He is in great shape, and I was hitting him in the pec muscle, saying, "Man, you look kind of swole. He's put some good weight on. He looks strong."
I'll tell you what, Jonesy, he ran the pick and roll at UW almost as well as any player I ever saw. I mean, he invariably made the right decision. I still think he's a combo guard, but when he was in pick and roll situations, whether to go all the way to the basket, whether to hide behind the screen and shoot it, or whether to hit the big, rolling or popping, boy, he made a lot of good decisions. I thought that was going to be one of his strengths. Obviously, the NBA loves the pick and roll. When he does get back and play, you talk about the depth, and you know, they lost some players, but they're going to add some players, and he's kind of forgotten because they're adding a guy who really, for all practical purposes, wasn't there last year for Philadelphia.
Trice inside, finishing through contact and in traffic. Good shot by Travis Trice out of Michigan State. Jackson back in a rush with the left-hand finish.
Jackson has been around. He's done a nice job, played in the G League, but has put up good numbers this week.
DiVincenzo got ripped by Jackson. Korkmaz couldn't get it, boy, and that is why the 76ers are high on Zaire Smith.
Exactly right.
Boy, he got shot out of a cannon, got up high and tipped it in, and Milwaukee up by 1.
I loved him. Had Texas Tech in the East region, as a matter of fact. They ran into Villanova. They did a fantastic job, and he's in the middle with all their aggressive defensive play. And again, Zaire Smith, again, staying with it, up, makes things happen. Offensive boards, defensive boards, especially with his defense. And he can score. It's not like he can't score at all. It's just not his forte. It's not what he looks to do.
Jackson up court for the 76ers, and they throw it away with a chance to take the lead. That is their 8th turnover here of the first half.
Furkan handling the ball a lot in transition, either pushing it himself or filling the wing. Looks making a case for the point forward position. That gentleman Ben Simmons that he plays with is pretty spectacular at doing just that.
There's Sterling Brown working against Smith. Could help. Good defense by the 76ers, but they're going to call a foul on Philly as Sterling Brown lost possession. Sterling Brown has been surprisingly efficient at the defensive end for the Milwaukee Bucks during summer league play. He's impressed the staff since day one, expanding on his game, including the pick and roll game in particular, PJ, as you mentioned, a huge part of NBA offenses.
Put guys in different situations, and they can get to show the coaching staff what they're capable of doing, or show them what they're not capable of doing. It's still the same. You want to know what you can and what you can't do, and that's what they're trying to find out in Summer League.
Golden from outside.
Noah has not been bashful.
And they got numbers. Brown running it down. There was a nice screen set there by Perry Ellis. Or should I call it a block, PJ?
I would call it a moving screen, I think, would be more accurate. That would be offensive pass interference in the NFL.
50 seconds to go in the first half. Whistle and a foul. Okay.
DiVincenzo with the pass. Perry Ellis. Oh, I didn't even see you. Let me just get in your way.
One of those accidentally on purpose moves.
And a clear path to the basket was engineered right there. Sterling Brown appreciative.
Off the turnover. DiVincenzo. Well, the Junior NBA World Championship, the NBA's first ever global youth basketball tournament for top 13, 14-year-old boys and girls teams from around the world. The inaugural event at the ESPN Wide World of Sports in Orlando, featuring 32 teams competing this August on Fox and FS1. To learn more, visit juniornba.com/world championship. Jackson split the double team. Oh, lots of jelly on that play for the Sixers as Pell punches it home. And Philadelphia back to within one.
But there was not a lot of room to get that pass in there. It was a pretty good catch also by Pell.
Trice on the baseline. Sterling Brown, the corner three is wet. And Sterling Brown giving Milwaukee a 4-point lead. He's got 10.
54 games for the Bucks last year, only 3 in the G League. So Sterling got a lot of meaningful time for the big team.
Here's Jackson. Stares down Trice. And right down the middle. Some nice, efficient play down the stretch here by both teams to close out. Split time between there and the Celtics. And he'll have possession to start things off here in the third quarter. Milwaukee 2-2 overall. Philadelphia 1-3. Korkmaz. Inside for Pell. Pell got the tip to go, and Philadelphia up by 1.
European bounce pass. You don't see that a lot. Players raised in the States. Furkan was up in the air and threw a bounce pass from up in the air.
You're saying that's a no-no, right?
No, I'm saying it's unusual.
Okay.
There was a great player in Yugoslavia many, many years ago, Obradovic, that did it all the time. It's Demetrius, we're bragging on him.
Wow.
He's picked up exactly where he left off.
Jackson with a lot of bounce there for a guy only 6'1", but really slapped together well.
He's doing it all. He's got assists, he's got points, he's got rebounds, and he's got steals. Not much left.
Yeah, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. A great overall floor game and a good contest on that long three-pointer by Jackson.
Travis Trice picking up Furkan. He's had enough of him running the breaks. Hey, you're a forward, man. You can't do that.
Smith tied up. Bolden continuing to struggle. Great hustle by Wood, filling the lane. And a classic finger roll layup for Christian Wood. He's got 14.
You want a big to run the floor, big that gets his hand on plays and block shots? Name is Christian Wood.
Wilson thought about it. Back to Trice. Little two-man game. They get the switch. Trice stares down Bolden and drills the long two. Travis Trice was a brother that plays at Wisconsin. Demetrius.
Yep.
Trice out of Michigan State, played 4 years there. Korkmaz inside.
I don't think Badgers even talk to Spartans. That's
yeah, how do you do that within the family?
Exactly, not easily.
Good contest by Wood, came up with the block. And Bolden got an easy one. Philadelphia back up by 1.
Well, Philly stayed with it. Early on, it was Milwaukee controlling the offensive boards. Now Philly, it's 8 apiece right now. They've climbed back in, done a good job on the boards.
Here's Sterling Brown. Brown had a good second quarter. Wood trying to show that range. That one halfway down and out. Sterling Brown also had 10 points. Talked about him a moment ago. Bolden missing again from outside. And here's Sterling Brown. Boy, great anticipation by Zaire Smith. Getting ready for showtime, but cut off and one on the foul by DiVincenzo.
There you go, Philly fans. That's why they did the trade. Zaire Smith, there's the defense. Wasn't a deflection, it was a steal. Open floor, yeah, I can do that. And one.
Guys with those crazy hops and 40-odd-inch verticals like Zaire Smith, those are the guys you see who, pardon me, PJ, measuring their steps.
No,
he was getting ready to do something special.
Exactly, and then he thought better of it, said, I'll just go for the borderline. And one, but I'll tell you what, you can't teach those kind of defensive instincts. You can drill defense, you can show people how to rotate, but there are players who have excellent defensive instincts, and Zaire Smith clearly one of those.
Philadelphia leading by 4. Trice from deep. Got another one. Travis Trice starting to heat up a little bit. He's got 7. Bucks back to within 1 point. And we talked about the 76ers big picture, and nice feed inside. Bell with the slam. What about the Milwaukee Bucks when you look at what they've done during the offseason, PJ? Ersan Ilyasova comes back.
Well, I love Brook. I was privileged to coach with Avery Johnson, and we had Brook Lopez a year in Jersey, a year in Brooklyn. I think that
what does he add to that team?
A sleeper pickup. Brook Lopez can do everything. He can score inside. He can command double teams. He makes free throws if they foul him. But he also is willing to kick the ball out. He's a pick and pop player. Even though he's a 7-footer, he can shoot it from out deep. Ersan Ilyasova is back where he played so very well for them in the past. I think they're both excellent picks. Ilyasova was an important player, I thought, for Brett Brown and the Sixers last year, even more so later in the year and in the playoffs. But I think Brook Lopez is going to be the sleeper. If you play to him, he's capable of rebounding. I think rebounding and shot blocking is not something he puts up big numbers. But if you ask him to focus on that, he's capable of giving you that. He runs the floor better than people realize he can. I think he's going to be an impact player in the Eastern Conference for Mike Budenholzer.
Sterling Brown, meanwhile, knocks down the free throw. Sterling Brown, folks, let's just say it. He's fortunate to be alive right now and playing basketball. He was unnecessarily, in most people's account, profiled by Milwaukee police and tased by 5 of them for a minor violation, and right now in litigation with the Milwaukee Police Department. And you know, as I mentioned, he's fortunate to be alive because in so many of those cases it doesn't turn out well.
Well, and if we hate to say fortunately in an incident like that, but fortunately a lot of it was caught on the body cam.
Yes.
So there's evidence that I'm sure is going to come out.
Yep. Timeout on the floor. The Milwaukee Bucks trailing by 4. Sterling Brown starting to warm up for the Bucks. It was interesting, PJ, to hear Danny Ainge, general manager of the Boston Celtics, kind of scoff at the notion of that the East is weaker and there's all this opportunity right now.
There's opportunity, but I think Danny sometimes speaks with forked tongue. He's a good buddy. Not on the golf course, he doesn't speak with forked tongue. But sometimes when he talks about the Eastern Conference, particularly his Boston Celtics, I don't always listen.
Yeah, he's got one of the favorites, Booker.
He will tell you no, but it is. But seriously, Danny deserves an enormous amount of credit, not just for the Brad Stevens hire, but how from day one he lowered the expectations. He made it clear to the players and everybody who would care to listen. Brad was the coach, was going to be there for a long time. The bar was set low, and you know it would take time, and it would be worth the wait. Well, it's certainly worth the wait. He's done an exceptional job, and he's also done a great job, Jonesy, obviously, in putting a roster together that Brad was able to take advantage of.
Wood traveled and actually lost control of it. Ends up slamming it home. Previous to that, Korkmaz knocked down a corner 3. Pell running the floor, blocked inside by Wood.
Yes, sir.
And Wood running the floor at the offensive end. Sterling Brown from downtown.
It's at least 4 block shots for Christian Wood.
Booker. He's still trying to find his range at the offensive end. Trice. Corner jumper by Wilson. Way off.
Good look by Travis Trice. PJ, you got to convert that.
That's going to be a foul against Trice. Wood doing it at both ends, PJ.
Well, again, he puts it on the floor. The ball comes loose. I think it was actually okay. It got knocked loose and he found it. But he stays in the play. You got to see it. And he's blocked him with both hands, and I think that's really an art. He knows, goes with the closer hand. He doesn't extend and make it more difficult to block. He is just filling up the stat sheet.
It's interesting to hear some of the quotes of Christian Wood. He says, you know, the team is loving how I play. I play on the defensive end, I play on the offensive end, and they're not really looking for me to score. They know that I can do that. I think he's reminding them anyway. Meanwhile, Booker hits the jump shot on the baseline.
Well, Christian Wood's not only reminding him he can score, he can shoot for a high percentage, he can rebound, offense and defense. He's got 5 offensive rebounds. He can pass the ball when it's appropriate, and he certainly can block shots.
Booker blocked, swallowed by Brown. Miles for 3. And Sterling Brown with the board. Brown fouled by Korkmaz.
It's an international foul right there. International players did that for years.
Our
players started picking it up a lot later.
It's
you
a disease.
used to see it a lot. You know, really, whether it was collegiate or the NBA, now you see it all the time. Yeah. But I say that started internationally.
Yeah. That's not basketball to me. Take the fast break out of the game that way. TJ Klein got that packed.
Well, the NBA tried to address it a little bit, Jonesy, with clear path, but still, there's an awful lot of times it does slow the game down.
Bryant. Step back jumper short by Cam Oliver.
No block shot, but that's intimidation right there. That was altered because of Christian Wood.
Here's Tim Quarterman out of LSU into the paint. Nice dime to Wood. What a find that was, P.J. Carlson.
Well, he heard halftime, he watched us, and he heard us bragging about him passing the ball, so he had to show it more in the second half.
Christian Wood now has double-digit scoring, double-doubles actually, or heading towards one in his last 4 games. He's got 20 points, 8 rebounds already. Bryant with a nice take.
Go back to Christian Wood. He's about halfway to blocks, too. He's working on a triple-double.
Quarterman with a hesitation had to go off his foot out of bounds. Christian Wood with 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks. Grizzlies, Utah Jazz, the number 22 seed. That game coming right up after this one. Grayson Allen has had some good moments here in Summer League. George Niang as well, recently signing a contract. A $5 million deal in the wake of Summer League play here. So guys are stacking up their dollars a little bit here in the desert.
Hey,
during Summer League play, P.J. Carlson.
It's all about opportunity. Show what you're capable of doing,
Tim Quarterman, Quarterman doing it right there with the 3. He's got 5 points in the game. Under 1.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Booker with a nice show and go. That corner 3 is pure. Isaiah Miles. Miles coming off a good game for Philadelphia.
He was cooking the other night. That's his first one to go tonight. I think he's 1 for 3.
He had 20 points, PJ, in their last game. Little floater in the lane is Butter. Arnett that time for the Bucks. Milwaukee hanging around down by 4. Under a minute to go.
Yeah, Isaiah was 6 for 8 from 3. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That qualifies as hot.
Isaiah Miles out of St. Joe's. It's his 3rd consecutive year in NBA Summer League. Played for Dallas in 2016. Played for Philadelphia last year, and that was a nice bucket by the 76ers. Elijah Bryant.
Yeah, wrong-footed, left-hander. Changed his mind mid-step. Tough play.
We've noticed that in the quarterfinal play and actually leading up to the quarterfinals, since they started tournament play, the games have been very hotly contested and a lot of intensity, and the scoring margins have gotten much more tenuous and tighter.
I just think, you know, as fatigue sets in, you find out who are the guys who want to play and who are the guys who are saying, you know what, let's go home. We've been here 10 days. Let's head home.
Great point. Booker with the left hand off glass. And Philadelphia with its biggest lead of the game at 8. He went for 26 points in his first summer league game. Hit 8 threes in the game. And boy, I'm not sure that people thought he could shoot the three-point ball that well. They knew he could shoot it.
No, I am 39%. I'm sure they didn't know. There's no question. He's surprising a lot of people. But again, it's not just that. We're talking about Christian Wood. Jaren Jackson Jr. does a lot of things well. His father did a number of things well, but Jaren does it at a much taller size.
Were you
than Jaren Sr.
with the Spurs when Senior was there?
I was always against him in Portland, San Antonio. I don't know. I was also against him at Georgetown.
Oh, we know about that one.
I spent my career against Jaren. Love him, though.
Ryan on the drive. Tough shot maker. Ryan again. Out of Elon, tiny Elon.
Isaiah Miles was lurking, too. He was waiting for that shot to come off so he could stuff it.
Yeah,
for the offensive putback.
Ryan transferred from Elon to BYU after the 2015 season. A good shooter at BYU last year. Shot 42% on his three-pointers. That time, PJ showing that he can get to the basket as well. Milwaukee down by 8. Got a little work to do here. Trying to stay alive in the championship round tournament.
That's number 14 seed Milwaukee against number 30 seed Philadelphia.
Philadelphia with the upset yesterday.
They took out undefeated Phoenix. Phoenix was the number 3 seed, DeAndre Ayton. Everybody wanted to see them continue to go. I'm a big DeAndre Ayton fan. He played fair. Let's say he played good. Didn't dominate, but played good. Showed what he's capable of doing. I was actually looking forward to seeing him and expected to see him today. Sixers had different plans.
Haynes ran into his own man, causing Quarterman to give it up. And Philadelphia gets an easy one off the turnover. Hey, speaking of Ayton, finish up with me real quick. What kind of grade would he give him?
For here,
I
give him a B+.
B+?
Yeah,
okay.
I thought more good than bad. You know, it didn't dominate consistently, but showed for sure. Guess who gets the role?
I'd give him an A.
Oh, he's getting an A+.
You mark a little easier than Doris Burke does. She'd have given Ayton like a B or a B-.
Yeah, see, I still think if you watch, you saw what he's capable of. You saw the glimpses, the shot blocking, the running the floor, the ability to shoot the ball, the quick feet. I hate when people compare him to Dream, but the one thing that they share, played soccer at an early age, they got the quick feet, he can shift out. I think he's the whole package. Doris, the reason that she's tough, because Doris was a tough player herself. A lot of people don't realize that. Doesn't dominate all the time. Doris wants to see you play for 48 minutes or 40 minutes in a college game or a summer league game. DeAndre's got to turn that motor up a little bit, but I like a lot of what I saw. And I had him a ton in the West Coast this year, Pac-12 games playing for Sean Miller. I thought he made great progress this year playing for Sean. He will make even more, and I think Igor Kokoskov will be very good for him.
Whistle and a foul against the Milwaukee Bucks. Demetrius Jackson going to come back into the ball game for the Philadelphia 76ers.
But let the record show I did not disagree with Doris Burke. I don't want to get in trouble disagreeing with DB.
Well, I told her, I said, you know, my A's are her C+. Yeah. I throw A's around like, you know, like nickels and dimes.
DB, we can't all compete the way you competed when you played. Or Billy Donovan tore it up in Providence.
5-point lead for the 76ers. The turnover. Quarterman with quick hands. They had an easy one. Quarterman going to take the corner three and drill it. Not quite the way he drew it up, BJ, but he'll take it.
You don't think he thought, well, maybe if I fumble this long pass, I'll get to shoot at 3, and I'll have 10 points when the possession's over instead of 9?
Wood with another blocked shot. I'm going to say that's his 5th now. Sterling Brown to the corner. Haynes from deep. Yes! And the Bucks take a 1-point lead with about 7 minutes to go. They trailed by double digits just a blink ago.
Well, this is what you talked about again. You got two teams that are trying to win. So we got runs back and forth.
Booker going to pull and miss everything. Quarterman drops it off for Wood. 25 points, 10 rebounds,
5 blocks, and running the floor better than anybody.
And one agent's phone ringing off the hook right now.
I would hope so.
6.5 minutes to go. Christian Wood with a great stat line. And another rebound for him. Haynes back the other way, fouled by Miles.
Here's the long pass. I got it. No, I don't. Let me run it down. I'll fire a 3 from the left corner.
It was the old off the heel pass, DJ.
I like this one. Simple bounce pass. I got a big can catch it on the run. Not as easy as it looks. Christian Wood is making everything look very easy tonight. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to take issue with that graphic. I'm going to say Steve LeBeau's going to say he's got 5 blocks, not 4. Steve's shaking his head.
You think about Christian Wood a year ago at this time, as I said, had signed a lucrative deal in China, a 6-figure deal to play in a Chinese basketball association that pays a lot of good money. Guys get paid well over there and on time. Changing his mind at the last moment, deciding to take a shot at the NBA. Ended up playing most of last season in the G League. Was all G League at the showcase and second team midseason all G League in the Eastern Conference. And it looks to be paying off right now because people certainly know who he is. Quarterman with the layup for the Bucks.
Excellent length and trying to show Mike Budenholzer and company that he's got some handle.
Zaire Smith to the corner. Well, let's give him an assist, BJ. Let's be generous on that one.
Well, if I was Doris Burke, I would say, no way. That was an air ball converted. We got to call that a field goal attempt, a rebound, and a stuff.
Snaps a 15-0 run. Tries pounding it a little bit. Hands it off to Haynes. 7 on the shot clock. They got to get busy. Good defense by Philadelphia. Wilson with a great cut to get open.
There was a lot of standing around, but then finally there was some movement. Not ball movement, but man movement, and it paid off.
Erkan Korkmaz.
He's thinking about it.
A little mismatch here against the longer Wood, who gets down in a stance to D up. A good contest. And he forced the miss. Haynes took the contact. And that's going to be a foul. Hey, we are in the championship round. You think this game means something? Look at the reaction of Christian Wood. Oh, Sixers, you don't want that smoke.
I want to see us later on. After the next game, Jonesy, we'll have to stop in.
Yes, sir. 76ers actually led by 10 early in the fourth. Since that time, it's been a 17-2 run by Milwaukee. Sterling Brown into traffic and one. Brown with the bucket.
Well, this used to be what you saw in Summer League all the time, Jonesy. You know, the draft picks would get all the ink, but it was the guys who had been in the league for 1 or 2 years that would step up, and they would show, hey, I'm used to playing with the real guys. I got to come in here and dominate. Sterling Brown, I think, has played very, very well. He's averaging 17 a game, over 6 boards. We've been bragging on Christian Wood all day, and DJ Wilson also has done a good job. So veteran guys playing well for the Bucks.
Sterling Brown played in 54 games with Milwaukee this year.
Yeah, only 3 in the G League. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he's used to the bright lights of the big NBA arenas. Sterling Brown out of Maywood, Illinois. 46th pick last year in the draft from Philadelphia, but acquired by the Bucks.
Yeah, interesting. Philly draft pick originally, although as you well know many times, those draft day deals, it's already prearranged, and somebody, they do a trade, they draft for him, and they move him along. So
Holden with the jump hook inside off glass. Got that to fall over TJ Klein. And Bolden, a guy that played last year overseas in Israel, and averaged 7 points a game, was on the summer league roster for the 76ers last year as well. 9 points and 6 boards for him. Trice.
Big shot there. Sixers going to make a run. That'd be a good time to start.
Jackson lost it. And Wood, after a short breather, comes back in. Going to sub out TJ Klein. I know that Mom Nancy Lieberman is watching that game somewhere, somehow.
Without question.
Yep.
Taught him well.
Lady Magic, my former colleague at ESPN. Like I said, I remember TJ Klein as a 16-year-old playing at one of the AAU Las Vegas tournaments against my son here at Circus Circus, strolling through the lobby, getting ready for his next run.
Yes,
turnover. Yep.
Christian knocks it loose. I don't give him the steal, but he made the pressure. Normally, you don't talk about filling your mother's big shoes, but those are enormous shoes to fill. Nancy Lieberman, we got somebody. Demetrius took a shot to the nose, I think.
Meanwhile, the Bucks have gone up by 7. Coming on to 3 minutes to play. Here's Bell out top. Korkmaz. Cross-court finds Zaire Smith. Boy, he tries to dunk everything, doesn't he, PJ?
He did. He knocked down that 1-3, but you could tell on the cross-court pass. Normally, that would have been a skip pass for a corner jump shot, but that's not a good action there.
Good hands by Bolden.
Yep.
Comes up with the loose ball. 2-on-1. Smith. Korkmaz for the layup. Good decision that time by Zaire Smith.
Yes, it was.
And Furkan Korkmaz has 14 now. Philadelphia back to within 5, under 3 minutes to play. Brown with a great pass inside to Wilson. Boy, he thread the needle on that pass to DJ Wilson.
Yeah, and a good finish inside by DJ. I actually thought Furkan had decent position. Might have impeded that a little more than he did.
Bolden got it. And Bolden now in double-digit scoring.
They needed that.
Jonah Bolden, 12 points, 7 rebounds. Sterling Brown pounding it. Wood inside, nowhere to go. Got it back, rejected, and no foul called, out of bounds with 2.7 to go on the shot clock. Semifinals after that, and then the championship game Tuesday night, 10 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Pacific on ESPN. Wilson with 2 seconds to go. He forgot how much time there was on the clock, PJ. He kind of went into chill mode after the inbound pass.
DJ's no, not question. DJ's a veteran player. That's not a good move.
They got numbers here. Haynes pushed from behind by Jackson.
Look at that.
And they may look to see if that's a flagrant.
That was not a basketball play. He pushed him with 2 hands. You got to make a play on the ball. I think we'll see if they're going to take a look. Oh, no, he did. He got the right hand around.
Yeah.
Sorry, Demetrius.
Yep. Common foul. Joe Schmidt, our cameraman, taking a hit. That's the third.
Scotty
one of our guys
he got shot. Yeah, he got hit the other day.
Yeah. He's
all
okay.
Right. Joe says he's all right.
No broken lens, no foul. Bell-Haynes knocks down the free throw.
No review either. We're moving along.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Trae Bell-Haynes out of Vermont. Rookie, undrafted in 2018. Honorable mention, AP All-American. Started 132 of his 139 career games at Vermont. For just under 15 per. He has 13 here. And the lead is 6 for the Milwaukee Bucks. The winner of this goes on to the quarterfinals.
See Jonah.
Korkmaz left it short.
Well, I thought he had a good look. Yeah. That surprised me.
Remember, that's the guy that had the 40-point game earlier in Summer League. Had in the Summer League opener. Went for 40 against Boston. Only 5 of the guys have done that in Summer League play. 1:12 to go. Milwaukee up by 6.
Sixers need to stop badly right here.
A whistle and a foul going to go against Philadelphia. Remember, in summer league play, they shoot the bonus on the 10th foul. They go into the penalty, and that's going to put Christian Wood back at the free throw line. And what a night, appropriately, with him at the free throw line now, it has been for Christian Wood.
What a night is putting it mildly. I mean, I just love, you called him active, I think, about 30 seconds into our telecast, and just the running the floor, but all the things he does on the glass, blocking shots, moving without the ball. A couple times he even got a rebound, took 1 or 2 dribbles before he passed it himself.
And he says that, you know, going down to the G League definitely makes you appreciate the NBA a lot. Coming from the NBA his first year and then going down to the G League, 2 totally different games. It makes me more hungry to get back. End of quote. Christian Wood has 27-12 with 5 blocks. Under a minute to go. Jackson inside, fouled by Wood, and that's going to put Isaiah Miles on the free throw line. As I look at Wood, think about the NBA and the G League. A lot of guys say the difference between the two is about $100, PJ. It's 150 per diem in the NBA and 50 in the G League.
Well, I'll tell you, is it night and day? Yes, it is. But it's also, I love what's happened with the G League. We're within another team or two of having all 30. You talk about having 30 teams here in the developmental league, about every team having their own G League team. We're not quite there yet, but I think we're at 27 or 28. But it's become an actual minor league now. By that I mean they put players back and forth. Real players, injured players. The stigma is gone. Teams have realized how beneficial that is. You bring a guy back from an injury or he's out for a while, let him get his legs under him in the G League. Because let's face it, in the NBA during the regular season, Jonesy, you're not getting anything done at practice. So it makes a huge difference to be able to put these players down there. 2 more roster spots now, the two-way players. You have 15 regular contracts and 2 two-way players on each team.
Here's the math on it, PJ. You can maximize your earnings up to $100,000 pretty much in the G League. But if you're one of those two-way contract players and you maximize your 45 days in the NBA, you're making close to $400,000. So that disincentivizes going to Europe as Miles, Elijah Miles, keeps this game hanging in the balance with a 3. Whistle, turnover. Korkmaz with the good defense, and Philadelphia has the ball and a chance to cut it to 2.
As maybe, I'm going to say 3 guys. Zaire Smith is another one. They're ready to play NBA defense right now.
Let's see what the 76ers do. They've got a lot of time here.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a 3.
Furkan Korkmaz drew the foul, and Sterling Brown is protesting that he went straight up. But we've got a foul called by Matt Myers, the official here. One more look.
He's behind the 3. Boy, I'll tell you what, he did not do much.
His arm appeared to be straight up. And they're going to review to see whether Korkmaz was behind the 3-point line. He's
no question he was.
Yeah. He could make it a 1-point game here if he makes all 3.
That's a quick review right there. 3. We're within 2 minutes again. We have the possibility of a coach's challenge. I'd like to see that green light blink.
Philadelphia doesn't have a timeout remaining, so one of the nuances of the rule is they can't challenge.
No Philly challenge.
Yeah. And I wasn't kidding. They do watch these summer league games, Korkmaz told me.
Oh,
in
for
Turkey,
sure.
Where it is now 5:16 a.m. and they like the fact that he's 1 for 2 so far. 1 more to come.
I bet money he was going to knock down all 3. Come on, Furkan. We got everybody up in Istanbul watching, and you're missing a free throw.
Makes 2 out of 3. It makes it a 1-possession game. Playing where he played his collegiate basketball. Let's see what Milwaukee does here. Leading by 2. Good defense on the inbound. Korkmaz almost had a steal. And Trice out top. 76ers don't need to foul.
No,
just play good
not.
defense here.
Solid D and get the defensive rebound, because oftentimes that's the problem.
Missed the shot. Good contest by Jackson. They can tie it up here or take the lead with the three.
No timeouts.
Korkmaz for the lead. Left it short, out of bounds. They'll retain possession with 9 seconds to go. Philadelphia doesn't have any timeouts remaining.
Kevin Young trying to communicate with his guys right now. They'll run one of their basic underneath out of bounds plays. Don't have a chance to draw anything up.
Jackson gets it in. Bolden. Korkmaz. 5 seconds to go. On the drive, took the hit. And one! Furkan Korkmaz is how you say it.
I'll tell you what he did that was really good. He didn't force the three. They closed on him and he put it on the floor. There's the foul. There's the finish.
And the Sixers with a chance to take the lead with 3.6 to go.
7 points in 40 seconds. If it goes, it does for Furkan.
And maybe another one here. Jarrett to inbound.
Got to get it in first.
3.6 to go. They go to Wood. Broken up. And the Sixers break up the play. There's a foul called with 1.2. Philadelphia with possession.
Well, we thought if they were going to go to Wood, it would be near the basket. That's what they tried to do. Philadelphia, I think, also said, no, let's let somebody else beat us.
It didn't look like he was the number one option, people.
No, there's the two screens. Yeah, he was. They wanted to go. Very, very good reads. That Noah Bolden, or Jonah Bolden.
It was Isaiah Miles that bodied him up.
Yeah, Jonah got
Bolden got a hand on it.
Jonah left his man, saw. Yep. I think he saw what the inbounder Barnett was looking at. He said, you know, he's going to try and throw it into him.
Milwaukee is out of timeouts.
Well, that's critical now, because even if he made both, they would have been able to advance it. This is one of these times as a coach you actually think about saying, if he makes the, miss or make the first one, miss the second, but you can lose it. You can lose it on an 85-foot shot. But, I mean, let's just say he makes both. Now they get the ball out of bounds with the clock stopped, and you have enough time to throw a long pass. They're probably going to get it three.
Bolden misses, but still just 1.2 to go.
This is when the assistants are going, tell him to miss it, tell him to miss it. And you're the head coach saying, you tell him to miss it. I'm not taking a chance right now. If he makes it, though, watch. They will get a long pass and maybe a good shot on the other end.
He's just a 51% foul shooter, but he makes a second.
Watch the long pass.
They got to throw it a long way. 1.2 to go.
Long one.
Price won't get it off in time. And the Cinderella 76ers